We are Lamed Amid Beis, in the middle of the Gemaras of the contradictions between the statements of Shlomo. So Gemara says, this is about 10 lines in. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Berei Rav Shmuel Bar Shelas Mishmei Darav. Bikshu Chachamim Ligna Sefer Kehelas. The Chachamim wanted to do Geniza with the book of Kollel, meaning to put it away, to hide it, not to actually include it in the canon. Because his words are self-contradictory. So why didn't they? Because the beginning begins with the words of Torah, and the end begins with words of Torah. It says towards the beginning, what value is there what to a person in all his toil beneath the sun? In the Academy of Rabbi Yana, they taught beneath the sun there's no value in the toil, but kodem shemesh, but with that which comes prior to the sun, which is the Torah, which was created before the sun, yeshla, that does have. So for different Torah, and in the end, that has a different Torah. The Chsefer, it says, "Sof davar kol nishma." The end word is everything is heard by Hashem. Es alakim yorei betz mitzasav shemor kizek aladam. Fear Hashem, do His mitzvahs, because that is the entirety of a human. My kizek aladam. What does it mean for this is the entirety of the person? Amar Rabbi Lazar. Rabbi Lazar said, the entire creation was only for the purpose of the Torah. Rabbi Abba Bar Kahana Amar, Shokol Zekeneg Kollel Kula. Torah is the equivalent, equal to the entire world. Shimon ben Azai Omer, V'amar la Shimon ben Zayma, either Shimon ben Azai or Shimon ben Zayma, we know as ben Azai or ben Zayma. The entire world is only created as as tools towards Torah. Where do you have the contradictions? Because he says in one pasuk, he says Tov Ka'as Mischok, says that anger is better than laughter. And it says to laughter I say praised. So that's a contradictory. It says I praise the joy, the happiness. And he also says what's the value, or what's the reason? Why would somebody do joy? Look, Kashin. And says really it's not a contradiction. Tov kas mischok. When is anger better than laughter? Tov kas shakos hakadosh baruch hu tzadikim olam hazeh mischok shemasachik hakadosh baruch hu al rishayim olam hazeh. The anger from Hashem towards tzadikim is greater for the world than the laughter that He shows to the evil people in this world, because that brings about change. It brings people to grow. And those challenges are actually better for the world. And laughter, I say that it's praised. That's the laughter that Kadosh Baruch Hu gives to the tzaddikim in the world to come, where there ultimately they get the bracha for their actions. And I praise joy, happiness, simcha shel mitzvah. That's the joy and gladness of a simcha, of a mitzvah. But what I say is simcha, what value does it have? Why are you doing it? It's a simcha she'eina shel mitzvah. That simcha that's not of mitzvah. L'lamdacha, to teach you, she'eina shchina shara, the shchina only rests on Klal Yisrael, on people. L'mitech atzvus, not through depression or sadness. L'mitech atzlus, and not through laziness. L'mitech sechuk, not through laughter. L'mitech kalas rosh, and not through lightheadedness, meaning frivolity. L'mitech sicha, is some of different text there, but let's say not through chatter, limitach dvar batelim, and not through worthless matters. Ela mitoch dvar simcha shel mitzvah. Only if somebody has joy from a mitzvah, that's what brings about Shekhinah resting. We saw a similar Gemara in Brachas that one should not stand to daven from any of these. We'll get up to daven from any of these, only with the simcha shel mitzvah, the gladness of mitzvah, that you should say a pasuk that it makes you happy, and the gladness of a mitzvah of something that you do. That's where you should only get to daven from that, and it's the same thing. This is the inverse. The Shekhinah only rests from that, and we should only get up to daven from that because that would bring about the connection of the Shekhinah and the person.
So I would assume that the decision, to be going is not to be going is, that was Anshe Knesset Sagedoyla.
Not necessarily, because we see that the decision with Yecheskel happened in the attic of Hananiah, and that was in Hillel and Shammai's days.
But all the kashas and the terutzim, that's why they decided to keep it in, or that they're asked, or the shver on the question of even what was the,
no?
Are they asking shver on what the question was to be goynes, or are they saying that was what that was the shaklantarya?
No, it doesn't seem that they're saying these were the answers. They knew the answers. They knew the answers. There was no point. There was no indication that they didn't know the answers to what Shlomo was saying. They were just saying that it was a very difficult sefer on account of so there are so many contradictions, and if you take the book on face value, it's too difficult to comprehend. It doesn't seem like a straightforward. It's not a straightforward book. It doesn't seem like a logical book, because of the amount of contradictions in Kollel from the beginning to the end. So that's why they didn't leave it. They wanted to take it out of the canon, but they didn't because the messages were good. And now the Chachamim are giving you different answers to those questions.
But I'm saying that they said that there was a consideration to be going as it because of steros. And so, but in the end, obviously they decided not to. So I'm saying, you could say, why would there even a question? It's not such a kasha. There's no steers there at all. Everything is a teretz for everything. So
they did not think there was no answers for them. They knew the answers, but for the people, the message is lost because of the contradictions. If people don't know what the meaning of the book is, then it's just contradictions. Shenemar, for it says, "Va'ata kachuli menagen v'hoya kenagen amenagen v'tiyolav yad Hashem." As we see that the Shekhinah rested on Shaul when he had simcha of mitzvah, because David would sing to him. Amar Rabbi Yehuda v'chein ledvar halacha, and similarly for a dvar halacha, that also is brings a joy, brings the dvar halacha to a clarity. So you have to start with joy. Amar Rava said v'chein l'chalom tov, also for a good dream. If you want to have a good dream, you have to start with simcha before you go to sleep. And Gemara says, "Eini v'amar v'gidol merav kol talmid chacham sheyeshav fnei rabba ve'einsav sosav noitves mar tichvena." How can you say that a dvar halacha requires a joy and a simcha beforehand, but it says that a talmid chacham has to be in awe and fear of his of the magnitude of what he's doing? He's sitting in front of his Rebbe learning Torah. That's a tremendous, tremendously important part of life, and something that he's doing that's so special that he should be in tremendous awe. Shenemar for says shoshanim nutfas mor over, that his lips are roses and they are dripping more. Alter kumar over ella mar over. Not that it's dripping myrrh, which is a spice, myrrh, but mar, some bitterness on account of how scared he is. Al tikru shoshanim ela shoshanim, and it's not roses shoshanim, but it's shoshanim that are studying. So the lips that are studying are dripping in awe. So I'm going to say like kasha habarabba habatalmid. He's sitting. It's the teacher or the student. The student's got to be in awe. The teacher is teaching the students, so he can make a joke before he starts. Or both on the teacher and the pens. Even the teacher himself, once he starts teaching the Torah, is going to be in awe of the magnitude of what he's doing. But before he starts, in order to open up their minds and hearts and catch their attention of the students, he's going to start with a joke. The Rabbi, before he would start to teach the Chachamim, he would say something funny. He would say something that was light, so that it would catch their attention. And the Rabbanan were joyous and happy after that. Safe, but once he got into Yosef Be'emsa Pasach Shmaita, then he was getting into teaching. He would sit with awe and teach Torah. Now back to Shlomo. So the book of Koheles, they wanted to do Gnizan. Same for the book of Mishlei, Proverbs. Also, there was the Chacham wanted to put away. Why? Because there were contradictions. And why didn't they? Amri, they said Sefer Koheles Lavai Nina and Veshkachin and Taima. In Koheles, if you look in it, can't you find the reasons? So here too, we'll be able to help people see the reasons. My Dvar says, so what are the contradictions? It says, Al tanksil ki ivalta. Don't respond to a fool like his foolishness. And it says, respond to a fool like his foolishness. But the difference is, one is in Torah and one is in earthly matters. The Rebbe, like this fellow who came in front of Rebbe, Amalei, he said to him, Ishtecha, Ishti, your wife, she's really my wife. Ubanecha, Banai, and your sons, they're my sons. Amar Le'i, he said to him, let's have a drink of wine. Shasa upaka. He drank some wine and died. And some texts have it, the Rebbe as well. Amalei imcha ishti. He said, your mother, she's really my wife. Ata, Beni, and you're my son. Amar lei ritzercha shetishte kos shel yain. You want to drink a cup of wine? Shasa upaka. He too drank and died. Amar Rabbi Chia said about Rebbe, and that's the indication that the second story is also about Rebbe. Ahani leitzilasa l'Rebbe b'leilashvi l'vnei mamzeri. The tefillas of Rebbe, the prayers of Rebbe, assisted him so that his children not be considered mamzerim. Because he didn't respond. He just said, let's drink a l'chaim, and that was it. The Rebbe Kavim Matzli, Rebbe, when he would daven, he would say, in Brachas we saw that the Chachamim at the end of the Amida, they had personal tefillas. Some of those tefillas we've incorporated in our personal tefillas. So Rebbe said like this, may it be your will, Hashem our God, that you save me today, from people who are who have audacity or who have chutzpah, and that I should have that. B'divrei Torah so that saved him. So what is the divrei Torah where you do have to respond to a ksil, to a fool, whereas in earthly matters, Rebbe ignored him and just had a drink with him and davened that he died. So. Well, we don't see that he davened that he died. He davened that he shouldn't be there, and he died. So, Torah, where do we see that by Torah you do respond? Rabbi Gamliel was teaching a drash. Asida isha shetela b'chol yom. Says a woman is going to give birth daily. Shenema, for it says haravi yaledas yachdav, that she'll be pregnant and give birth together, meaning it all happens at once. Liglig all of us a Talmud. So a student laughed at his drash. Omar in kol chodesh tachas Hashem. She says, "What are you talking about? There's nothing new under the sun." Amalei baverecha dugmasam b'olam hazeh. I'll show you that already exists in this world. Nafik achveli tarnagelis. He showed him a hen, gives birth every day. Masu Yosef Rabbi Gamliel v'kadarish asidim ilanu shemitzim peiros b'chol yom. Trees are going to give off fruit every day. Shanamaver says v'nosa anaf asa peri. It says that it'll give forth sprout forth the flower and it'll make a fruit. Ma anaf b'chol yom. Just as the leaves are there every day, af pri b'chol yom, so to the tree is the fruit every day. Lig olav isa Talmud. So the student laughed at him. Amar, he said, "V'aksiv kol chodesh tachas l'shemes," but it says there's nothing new under the sun. Amalei b'verecha dugmasam b'olam hazeh. Come, I'll show you. It's something like this that already exists in this world. Nafik achveli tzlaf. He showed him tzlaf. I think we said it was with capers and have different types of fruits. That some of the leaves are a fruit, and there's different types of berries. Masu Yosef Rabbi Gamliel mekadorish. Gamliel was further said a drash. Asida Eretz Yisrael shetitzi gluskais kli melas. Eretz Yisrael is in the time of Mashiach, in the future time, the trees are going to give forth finished products. So you're going to have breads that grow on wheat stalks and garments growing on out of flax. Shanamavar says he pisas bar ba'aretz. There will be a measure of linen in the land. So the Talmud laughed at him again. Is nothing new. Come and I will show you it's something like this in this world. Mushrooms and it showed him that this grows in one day a complete product. Vakli melas, and for garments, nivra barkura, we saw this woven, this mesh-like material, mesh-like I think of strands that are around a palm tree. So you see that there's a finished woven product. In any case, Rabbi Gamliel's drash was that at the time of perfection of the world, when the world comes to its place, the need to toil to make something is going to be gone, and everything will grow as a finished product. And he was laughing at him, and he responded to it. He showed him in his foolishness that there is something like this. Why is it foolishness? As we've said, and the Maral explains over here that Rabbi Gamliel is talking about a spiritual idea. The way he wasn't trying to excite us by saying you'll have cakes growing on wheat stalks. That wasn't the point of Rabbi Gamliel. He was trying to say that the world will be at a point of perfection. He's trying to teach something about a spiritual thing about the world, and the student was getting caught up in the physical, and he responded to him based on the ivelis, based on the mistake of the student. Continue Tenor Rabbanan in talking about the patience of the teacher to respond to the foolishness of the student. We're going to talk about the patience of Hillel. A person should be humble like Hillel, who was the Nasi. He was the prince and of the in line, and yet he was humble and not as strict as Shammai. The Gemara says, story with two people. Rabbi Hanal says 3 people that made a bet, and we're at the top of Lamed Aleph, Lamed Aleph. They made a bet with each other, and they said, anybody that can get Hill to get mad, Yitel Dal Mei Zuz is going to take 400 Zuz. So they put money in a pool, and they said, whoever can get him mad, they may take the money. So one said, let me go try. Erev Shabbos, it was Friday afternoon. Hill's in the middle of washing his hair. So he walked in front of Hillel's house, and Mikan Hillel, less than perfectly respectful, he yelled out, who's Hillel here? Mikan Hillel, who is Hillel here? So he put a towel around his head and walked out to greet him. He said, my son, what are you seeking? I have a question. All right. Go ahead and ask, my son. He says, okay, so why are the heads of the Babylonians oblong? Yeah, that's a really good question. Because the midwives are not so good. So it affects the shape of their head. So he waited another bit, and Hillel went back to washing his head. And then he called out again, Mikan Hillel. Who's Hillel here? Hillel comes out again to greet him. My son, what is it that you're seeking? I have a question to ask. Go ahead, ask. Why are the eyes of the Talmudian, Rashi says terutas means soft. In our text, there's a change in text, and in different Rashis, it says that they are long. He said to him, good question. That's a big question that you asked. The answer is because they live in sand, and to protect their eyes, Hashem made their eyes either soft or long. He waited a little bit longer. Hillel went back to doing his hair. Mikan Hillel. Who's Hillel? Who is Hillel? And he said to me out to the cross. He came back out to him. My son, what is it that you seek? Said to him, I have a question. Go ahead, ask my son. Why are the Africans' legs wide? He said to him, you've asked a very good question. Because they live in swampy, muddy areas, and so Hashem made their legs wider so that they don't sink. I actually have many questions to ask. I'm afraid that I'm going to upset you. So he's in his atif, so he properly put on his turban. Sat down in front of him and said, go ahead. Go ahead, try me. Any questions you have, ask him. You are Hillel, that you are called the Prince of Yisrael. I said, yeah. If that's who you are, there should not be many like you amongst the Jews. My son, why do you say that? Because of you, I lost 400 zuz on a bet. Be careful with your spirit. It's worth losing not only 400, but another 400. As long as I don't lose my temper, I don't lose myself. Yeah, so be careful with your spirit. Recognize yourself, know who you are, and contain yourself, because Hillel doesn't get mad, and it's worth losing more money than that so that Hillel not get mad. Obviously, a lot of teaching here, but we don't have the time. We're going to go on. Tana Rabbanan, the Brisa taught, we're going to learn the 3 converts stories. One a non-Jew came before Shammai. How many Torahs do you have? Amal Shtayim. I have two. Torah Shebechsav, Torah Shebal Peh, the written Torah and the oral Torah. Amal Shebechsav ani ma'amincha, Shebal Peh ani ma'amincha. The Torah Shebechsav, Rashi says, there's a different version of what the story was, but Rashi says, I trust that the Torah, the written Torah is from Hashem. I'm willing to do the oral Torah, but I don't trust that's from Hashem. Gaireni Amanasha Talmudeni Torah Shebechsav. Convert me with the condition that you'll teach me the written Torah. Garba, so Shammai yelled at him, and sent him out with Nazifa,
Rebuke.
A rebuke. Yeah, he rebuked him. Why? Rashi says because he's obligated in believing in Torah Shabbat Peh as well, because they're obligated in the 7 mitzvahs, and that's a Torah Shabbat Peh. So he came before Hillel and Gaire. Hillel did convert him. According to Rashi, he converted him because he was willing to accept to do the mitzvahs d'Rabbanan. He just didn't believe that it came from Shemayim. So it says that Gaire means he accepted him to convert him, but he didn't actually convert him. He brought him in to learn with him so that to see whether he would be willing to accept the mitzvahs. Because as we saw, the Gemara Menachos, that you cannot, you're not accepted, conversion doesn't work unless someone accepts all the mitzvahs to do halacha as it is, both the Oraisa and the Ramana, even Minhagim. So Gaira Yom, so he converted him. And we're going with Rashi's version. So Yom HaKama, the first day, Amalei Aleph Beis Gimel Dalet. He says, look, this is an Aleph, this is a base, this is a Gimel, this is a Dalet. Lamachar Apichle. The next day when he came back to learn, he said, this is a Dalet, this is a Gimel, this is a base, this is an Aleph. So he said to him, what are you doing? But yesterday you didn't say it that way, you said it the other way around. Amalei Lavalai the D Kasamchis. Don't you have to rely on a teacher? Isn't that the whole concept, that you cannot learn Torah alone? That's the way Hashem built the Torah, that the Torah itself can only be understood with a teacher. If you look at any one of the mitzvahs, you won't know how to do it unless you have a teacher. So intrinsic in the Torah, the written Torah, there must be an oral Torah with it, and you can only learn it from a teacher. You are relying on me to tell you the Aleph base. You must also understand that the Torah needs you to rely on teacher, all the way to Moshe to understand the mitzvahs as well. The Alpen Amis Mochalai, so all the mitzvahs Balpeh, you also need to rely on me. Shuv Maisa, another story. Benachri Echad Shabbat Lefnei Shammai, a non-Jew came before Shammai. Teach me the entire Torah while I stand on one foot. I remember a teacher of mine taught a class for 45 minutes, and then somebody came and said, I missed the class. Can you tell me, in short, what it was about? So he said, you think that I only had 1 minute worth of material, and I wasted everyone's time by elaborating on that for 45 minutes. So you come and say, just give me the minute, right? I had 45 minutes of material. You can't ask me for a minute. But that's what he's saying. He's like, teach me the Torah on 1 foot. So Shammai said to him, you think it's only one line, right? All of it is actually material. So he pushed him away with the ruler, right? And the Maharal talks about why a ruler is a measure, it's exact. However, he came to Hillel, Hillel accepted him. What you dislike, don't do to others. Right? And that's the inverse of what the Torah says. And there's a lot of Torah taught as to why Hillel said it in the inverse. But he said, don't do to others what you do not want for yourself. And the others includes Hashem, and the others includes your parents, and the others includes your friends and community. And so he said to everyone, ultimately, that is Zuhi Kala Torah Kula. This is the entirety of Torah. V'idach Pirusha, the rest is the details of that. Zil Gemara, go and learn the rest of don't do to others what you wouldn't want for yourself. Then another story with a non-Jew who was passing behind this study hall, and he heard the voice of the teacher teaching, who said, here are the clothing that you make for the Kohen. Choshen, the breastplate with the beautiful stones and gold, the set in gold, the ephod, and this beautiful garment. Amr halalumi says, who gets to wear these? Amru the Kohen Gadol. That's what the Kohen Gadol gets. Amar Osin Nachri Ba'atzmos. He said to himself, Eilich Ve'Gayer B'Shvil Sheishem Semeni Kohen Gadol. I want to do that. Maybe I'll get an opportunity to be Kohen Gadol. I'm going to convert for that. Balafnei Shammai. So he came before Shammai. Amar LeGaireni. Convert me, Amanashi, to Simeni Kohen Gadol, so that I can become the Kohen Gadol. The Chaver Ba'amas Avinus had pushed him away again with the ruler. Shebiyada. Balafnei Hillel Gairi. He came before Hillel and he converted him. Says, look, you want to be the Kohen Gadol. You can't become king unless you know the manners and the rules of and the etiquette of that particular nation. You have to learn first. You have to know what it's all about. He went and he learned Torah. When he got to the verse that says, and a non-Kohen, a Zar, a foreigner that comes close gets death. Amalei Mikraz al Minemar. Who's that talking about? Amalei Sehil said to him, Afil al David Melech Yisrael. Even David, the king of Yisrael, my ancestor, if he were to go into the base of Mikdash and do the avodah, he gets death. Nasa is a ger kavachomimatz. He said, well, if Umay Yisrael shenikru b'nei l'makom, Jews are children of Hashem, and Hashem, out of love for Bnei Yisrael, says, "My firstborn son Yisrael." Ksiv aleim, and yet it says about Yisrael, Hazar HaKarev Yumas. Yet, in regards to the base of Mikdash, they called a foreigner, they called a Zar, and therefore they can't go close, and if they do, they get the death penalty. Gerakal, me. I didn't have all that history with Klal Yisrael. I'm not the descendant of Abraham or descendant, the one who came out of Egypt. Shabab and Makla v'Tarmila. I seem just coming with my stick and with my staff and my sack. Alachas kama kama. I don't have the history of David Melech Yisrael, and yet if he can't go into Beis Hamikdash and serve like a Kohen Gadol, for sure I can. So Balafrei Shammai, so he came back to Shammai and he said, Amalei klum ro'eh ani li as Kohen Gadol. I can't be a Kohen Gadol anyhow. So why didn't you just tell me that? Balafnei Hillel, he came before Hillel and he said, Amalei an v'san Hillel. Hillel, you are humble. Yenuchu lecha brachas al roshcha. May brachas land on your head. Shekir of tani tachas kampei Shechina. Because you brought me close beneath the wings of Shechina. L'yamim. At some point, the three of them, and Rashi learns it means the three comrades, met at one place. Amrun, they said, it is the strictness of Shammai that sought to get us lost in this world, and and the humility of Hillel brought us close under the wings of Shekhinah. There are a lot of depth in all of these stories and the details that the Gemara says about them meeting up and the ruler and the exact wording. The Maral has a lot about it, and the Ramchal has some about it. So obviously we don't have the time now, but it's worthwhile if somebody wants to see it to learn through that. Amalei Rish Lakish. Rish Lakish says another drash. What is it when it says in the pasuk V'haya Emunah Sitecha, and it'll be the faith of your times. Chos and Yeshua's, the protection of salvation. Chachmas v'das, the wisdoms and knowledges. And then it says at the end, Yiras Hashem hiyotzara, the fear of heaven, the fear of Hashem is the storehouse for these. So what is Emunas? As I say, the Zerayim. That's the order of Mishnayos of Zerayim, which deals with brachos and all that grows from the ground. A farmer needs enormous faith in order to plant, because it needs to rain at the right time and you need the sun at the right time, as opposed to other work where we sort of believe that we are in control. A farmer is much more dependent on direct tefillah to Shemayim. He can't make the rain come, can't make the sun shine, can't make the crops grow. Yet, nevertheless, once it does grow, we feel pride that this is my crop. Hashem says, the halachas azroim of the mitzvahs that you do with what grows is emunah, faith. Itecha, your times, zasei demoed, right? That's the holidays. It's all about Shabbos and Yontif, which are the times. Chosen, the protection, zasei denashim. That's the halachas of marriage and etc., which the Gemara tells us in Bava Metzia that the bracha only comes to the house, protection only comes to the house if there's shalom bayis, if there's peace. Yeshua's salvation, zasei denazikin, that's damages. When you're honest with each other and protect each other, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us Yeshua. Chochmas, wisdom, is kachin, say the kachin. And das, and connection to Hashem, knowledge, is say the taharas, when there's no spiritual clog. And yet, you have all of these halachas and learning, and nevertheless, Yiras Hashem Yatzara, the fear of heaven is the storehouse for all of this Torah. Amar Rava b'shasha machnisin adam ledin, and correlating to this, also there are 6 questions that are asked of a person when it comes to Shemayim. Amrim lo nasasa v'nasata be'amunah. Did you do business in faith, which is the first, which is right? Did you have emunah, faith in the way you interacted? Kavati itim l'Torah. Did you set time for Torah? That's again times. Itim. Asakta b'peri barivya. Did you deal with propagating, having children? That's the third Seder Mishnayos. Tzipisa Yeshua. Did you foresee and hope and yearn for salvation from Hashem? That's the 4th Seder, which is Yeshua. Pilpalta b'chachma. Did you discuss the chachma, the wisdom of Torah? That's chachma. And evanta, did you understand Torah, which is again the 6th Mishnayos. If you had Yiras Shemayim, then you're going to Gan Eden. In Ilolo, if not. Mashal of Odom. It's a parable for a person. Sha'amal Shluchei says to his messenger, Haleli kur chitim la'aliyah. Take the pile of wheat and put it into the storehouse. Halach ve'helal. So he brought it in. Amalei rafta li behen kav chumtin. Did you put in a little bit of this salty clay, which salty soil, which if you put in, it'll keep the worms out? Amalei lab. He said no. Amalei mutav imlaheli. So well, then it's not going to maintain, and it's better you didn't put it in the storehouse, because you put it in the storehouse and you didn't put this in, it's going to go bad. So to Torah, you can have a lot of Torah, but if you have Torah and you don't have Yiras Shemayim, then the Torah is going to lead you astray. Tana the very Rabbi Yirmiyahu, and in this manner, which there's a halachic ramification as well. If you're selling a kur of wheat, you're allowed to include in the weight some of this clay, even though it seems like you're putting in pebbles into the beans, and so you're selling a product it's not whole in the measure. It is whole in the measure because people understand it's going to have the preservative in there. Amar Rabbi Baravuna kol adam sheyesh bo Torah ve'ema Yiras Shamayim. And we turn the page to Lamed Aleph Amud Beis. Anybody that has Torah but doesn't have Yiras Shamayim, doesn't have the awe of the giver of the Torah. It's like a custodian that gets the keys to the inner chamber but not the outer chamber. You don't have a way in. How would he get in? Machzis Rabbi Yanai announced, Chavala the Leslie Darta, woe to someone that doesn't have a courtyard, Matara Darta, but he makes a gate to the courtyard. Now, obviously, this is a different interpretation than we saw before, that it's a storehouse, which means that Yerushalayim is what stores Torah, and here it says the other way around, that Torah is the gateway to Yerushalayim. Hashem only created the world so that we have awe and fear of Hashem. For it says, like it says in the pasuk, Hashem made so that you fear. Rabbi Simon, Rabbi Lazar, as some say Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Yosef, they were sitting, Chalif Ba'azil, Rabbi Yaakov Baracha. Rabbi Yaakov Baracha passed in front of them. So, Amalei said to him, Chad l'chavre, Neku mekame degaver. Let's stand up before this person. They were chachamim themselves, but they said we should stand up for Rabbi Yaakov Baracha, the dochel chatoinu, because he is careful. He's very fearful of sinning. Amalei idach. So the other said, Neika mekamed degavar uryanu. We should get up for him because he's a Talmud Chacham. Amalei, he said to him, Aminul chana the gavar dachel chatoin. I'm telling you something that's even greater, that he has fearful of sin. And you tell me because he knows a lot of Torah. You're downplaying how great he is. Testayim the Rabbi Lazar. So let's prove that Rabbi Lazar is the one that says the Amar the Gavar Dachel Chatainu, that he said that he was fearful of sin and that he considers that the greater praise. Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Lazar Rabbi Shimon, as Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Lazar. Some say that it's not Rabbi Lazar Rabbi Shimon who was said before, but different Rabbi Lazar. We have that Rabbi Lazar Rabbi Shimon said that Hashem has left in this world the 4 cubits, meaning the space of a person that has Yerushalayim. Shenem, for it says Va'ata Yisrael, and now Yisrael Ma Hashem Elokecha Shel Miyamach. What is it that Hashem is asking of you? Ki im liyir. All Hashem is asking of you is to fear, to be fearful and awe of Hashem. Live with the uprightness of someone who has Yerushalayim. And it says Vayomer la'adam hein yiras Hashem chachma. As it says, behold, yiras Hashem, fear of heaven, is chachma. The idea being that the wisdom itself, if it doesn't apply to your life, is just a study of Russian history, or something totally irrelevant. If you study Torah that way, then it's meaningless. Torah is only of value if it actually is incorporated in your life and it affects you. Because the word hain means one. Torah and Yerushalayim is one. That's all one. If you don't have Yerushalayim, you don't have Torah. This time, so that is indeed proof that Rabbi Lezer Rabbi Shimon is the one who said that the Torah itself is not is of no consequence, of no value if you don't also have Yerushalayim. We'll continue Hashem tomorrow with the next Gemara from here.